Welcome to this episode of Weapons Wednesday. And as you may have already seen, we have quite the fiery episode for you guys today. We have blades galore. From something as small and technologically advanced as the Hawkbill Switchblade, and going all the way to the long and fantasy looking Dragon Shadowblade. And let me tell you, cutting with these things just felt so seamless. But I'm getting ahead of myself, so if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, that would be awesome. Now, as always, I wanted to give you guys the results for last week's poll. I asked you guys which of the throwing weapons were your absolute favorite out of the four. And now the votes are in, and with 41% of the votes, the winner of the throwing weapons face-off is the Black Kunai. And to be honest, I obviously totally see why. So if you want to get a set of these for yourself sent straight to your door, go check out karatemart.com and grab a set to add to your collection. Now, starting off our list with what I have as my second personal favorite of all of these weapons is the modern tactical wakizashi. This sword just feels so sleek when you get to hold it in your hands. The vinyl wrapped scabbard also feels really nice, again, to the touch. I mean, there's something in this vinyl wrapping that really just triggers the dopamine in my brain. It also comes with a belt loop, rings, and a snap to keep the sword locked and mounted on wherever you want it to be, whether that's on your back, on your backpack, on your hip, wherever it is you want to put it, you can absolutely mount it there. And because of that snap, you won't have to worry about jumping around and having your sword fall out of its scabbard if you were upside down for whatever reason. Now, this blade is also meant to be used. This 30-inch sword has a 19-inch full tang blade made out of 1060 spring steel. It is incredibly sharp right out the box as well. So for those of you that just want to jump straight into Fruit Ninja for the other fun side of having a sword that you can cut things with, you absolutely can. And coming in at about 2 pounds, it will definitely have the weight and sharpness to cut through much more than fruit if you really needed to. And the non-slip textured ABS handle means that you can feel secured in your grip when swinging the sword around. And let me tell you, whenever you feel like your hand is covered in pineapple juice whenever you're swinging a sword, the security is absolutely necessary. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I absolutely love wakizashi swords. They are typically my go-to weapon of choice in my personal training, especially when it comes to the different types of swords out there. If any of you guys agree with me, definitely check this one out on karatemart.com. Obviously, after checking out your local laws to make sure it's legal for you to have one of these guys in your area. But yeah, this one by no means lets me down in any way. But guys, I've got to say the last weapon on this list is one of my all-time favorite weapons that they've ever sent me. So that brings me to my next question. I really just want to know on today's poll, which of these blades is your absolute favorite? Not which one is the most useful or most deadly or most effective in the zombie apocalypse, just simply which one is your favorite. And as always, you can do that just by heading over to the community tab and casting your vote. Next, we have the classic Hawkbill Switchblade. This one is really cool in its own right. The simulated mother of pearl handle really gives it a vibe that came straight from the pocket of some mobster in the 60s. And who doesn't love that kind of classic look for a switchblade design? Now, it's going to be a solid 9 3/4 long when open, and 4 1/4 of those inches is going to be the Hawkbill curved blade. The Hawkbill design has a curve that goes forward similar to a Karambit that makes cutting and slicing with the knife much easier than you might see with other knives. The sharp point that comes with it at the end is also really good at stabbing into any targets that you are defending yourself from. However, that's not what makes this knife so cool in my opinion. This pocket knife is also a stiletto style switchblade, meaning that the dagger design makes it perfect for self-defense, and the Switchblade action makes it easy to activate in any situation. The button activation system, as opposed to the lever activation systems you see in many other automatic lives, helps make it easier to open in an emergency situation. The button activation, as opposed to the lever activation you see in many other automatic knives, makes it easier to open simply because oftentimes your hands might be sweaty, and it will make it harder to use the flip action in many Switchblade designs. But the button that you see here eliminates that. And because it's easier to open in more circumstances, that makes it much better for self-defense. Whether the knife is wet, your hands are wet, or you're just sweating because, you're nervous, you can still open this knife. Obviously, as long as this type of weapon is legal in your area. So make sure to check your local laws to be sure. But I'm sure many of you may be thinking about the possibility of it opening in your pocket without actually intending to hit the button, and that's absolutely a fair concern. I, in fact, had the same one. But this knife fixes that by adding a safety mechanism to the knife itself. It adds this sliding rail safety to the handle of the knife that will keep it locked and keep you from being able to press the button when it's in its locked position. And then whenever you're ready to use the knife, you can simply just slide it down into the unlocked position, press the button, and you're good to go. A super easy knife that's really easy to open, or not an easy knife, but a super effective knife that's really easy to open and use for self-defense. And honestly, if you're really trying to build up your classic mobster arsenal, that one's for you. I know there are a ton of Karambit lovers out there, and don't worry, I have one on the list just for you guys. I didn't want to let you down. The modern tactical Karambit is a great addition to anyone's arsenal for self-defense or just holding knives in general. Coming in at about 6 ounces and about 7 inches, this is a monster of a weapon. Perfect for self-defense for actually several reasons that you might not know. And obviously, having a 3.5-inch blade will scare any attacker just outright. No one's gonna wanna fight you then. And being a full tang blade made out of D2 stainless steel makes it that much better because it's gonna be able to handle being used in a realistic situation. And that 1 1/8-inch finger hole will help you keep from getting disarmed because no one wants to lose their knife, drop their knife, or just get disarmed in any self-defense or combat scenario. For, obvious reasons, you don't want to lose your knife. But that's not the end of why this is so good for self-defense. For that, we're going to look at the holder of the knife. It's going to have several removable screws, I can't speak today, and a hinge system that allows you to not only clamp it to your belt without taking your belt off, but also move it to wherever you need to put it, whether that's on your right or left hip, on your back, on your belly, where I would normally carry a firearm. You can put this anywhere you need to, and it will hold that weapon wherever you need. It also comes with this slider that also works to lock the clip as well. It can also be worn around the neck underneath your hoodie or jacket or something like that. That's usually how I carry many Karambits personally, so I really like the fact that it comes with a chain that you don't have to go out and get one. You can just buy it from the store and it will come with a chain off the bat. This means that however you choose to live your life, no matter what you do on a daily basis, you can wear it and customize it so that it's not only comfortable for you, but practical. Meaning the knife is that much better for a self-defense reason, because being able to practically easily retrieve your weapon from wherever it is on your body is super important. And before we get into the last weapon of today's video, I have one question for you. What is your favorite self-defense weapon of choice, not including firearms? I'm really curious to know what's popular and the reason you guys use whatever it is that you use. So if you're comfortable with letting me know and having that conversation, I'd love to chat about it down in the comments below. Now guys, I have saved my favorite for last. The Dragon Shadowblade Sword. For those of you that have seen some of my takes on the Weapons Wednesday videos, you may have picked up on just a few things about me. I love weapon history. I absolutely just can't get enough of it. Lighting things on fire is like a super cool pastime, and I absolutely love unique and creative weapon designs. Let me tell you, this sword manages to fit all three of those in one. The overall history of katana style swords is absolutely awesome. Some of the best stories and facts out there involve katanas, from things as commonly known as how samurai used them to great effect all throughout Japan, and that they were so effective in their use that they continued to be used all the way to the Second World War. All the way to more abstract facts like how sword makers would purify themselves before they ever made a sword. They would fast, practice abstinence, and pray by a waterfall for months before even starting to forge a katana. Honestly, let me know if you knew that one. And the Dragon Shadow Blade sword has a beautiful katana style blade that is around 29 inches long, making this 45-inch weapon a very powerful size, weighing in as a surprising 3 pounds and 2 ounces. And I have to say, this dark blue design is perfect and really stands out as one of my favorite features. Not only is the pattern of the sword just really cool to look at, the blue actually matches my midnight blue Tongsudo 3rd degree belt. So personally, it just feels like a match made in heaven. But when I tell you that this blade has amazing style, I absolutely mean it. Even the dragon head on the pommel and handle of this weapon has incredible, intricate details. And it's not even limited to the blade itself. The scabbard is 3D printed with a super cool dragon design etched into it, or I guess printed into it. But I really can't get enough of this blade. It's also not just a looker, it's sharp. Like, this guy is really sharp. The blade is 3/16 of an inch thick and made of manganese steel, and chopping fruit was literally seamless with this sword in my hands. Like, take a look at one of my favorite shots where I cut the flaming pineapple. It's absolutely wild. I'm telling you, this bad boy is so much fun to play with. But I couldn't play Fire Fruit Ninja without making you guys a cool montage. So enjoy this short, cool fire chopping montage.
Here we go.
I just want to thank you guys so much for checking out this video. I know being new to the Weapons Wednesdays is new for everyone, and I really appreciate your support and your encouragement down in the comment section. I really do enjoy reading the comment section from you guys and hearing from you and chatting with you guys. So I'd love to meet you in the comments after this video if you got time. Shoot me a message and I will reply as fast as I can. But as always, make sure to check your local laws for any of these weapons, and if you want to get them after you've checked your local laws, go to karatemart.com and get any of them or all of them for yourself. Like I'm telling you, you will not regret the Shadow Blade sword. The dragons are awesome. But until next time, I'll see you guys Weapons Wednesday.